Hey there everyone, this is KZ and this is going to be an important video. I'm here to talk about something that has become a major fixture in my life for the past year and a half in terms of the content that I do and pretty much everything. I'm here to talk about the podcast that I do as a part of the GB Podcast Network. About a year and a half ago, I started doing podcasts with my friend Mr. Feel from Twitter, as well as Dan and Bob of Gigaboots.com, who also do some content here on the internet. They wanted to do a Kingdom Hearts 3 related podcast where we would watch and review the various Disney movies that were going to be featured in the game, and then make premonitions about how they were going to be implemented in the game itself. It was a lot of fun, and we developed a nice flow, a nice chemistry to it that made us want to do more content. You're not going to Singapore at any point in Kingdom Hearts 3.
How unfortunate. I really hope they could have worked in more stereotypes. I didn't see anyone eat a giant bowl of rice with chopsticks.
How?
Oh, was that in the background?
I believe that pirate leader was Chow Yun Fat.
He was.
It was. And then he got really rapey and died. And it was like, okay, movie.
It was from there that the idea of a podcast network was born, where we would do at least 2 podcasts a week, every single week, with a variety of different shows and some more consistent stuff. So let's talk about some of those shows. The first one is what airs every single Monday, which is Big Think Dimension. It is our gaming news podcast. We come together each week and talk about the games we've been playing, our thoughts on them, and then jump into some gaming news and give our comments on what's happening with video games. And you've heard this before because you've maybe heard a gaming podcast before.
It's finally time to do our deep dive into the PS5 specs.
Oh, thank God. I was worried we had some other part of this podcast.
Nope, we'll cover the Podlords after this. And we'll just end the whole podcast.
Okay, I'm gonna tell a dark joke about this game.
Okay.
Oh, it's a game where you work for your dad's company. Where's the part where you commit sexual assault and he brushes it under the rug?
That's DLC.
Is it on the card? DLC on the card? Like,
Yes.
like they already made it, they already built it and they're hiding it?
Yep, they're exploiting you.
That's fucked up.
Yes, that's the fucked up part. Good job, Casey. You're a good journalism. But I don't know. I didn't memorize how many fucking pixel difference the GBA and the DS screen is.
Don't pretend like you wouldn't memorize
You would be
that.
someone who'd do that.
I was so close to saying.
Yeah, why are you acting like they must think I'm some crazy guy who just remembers obscure tech things?
I'm game video games. I eat oranges.
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
From there, we have a set of variety podcasts that we shuffle through every single week on Thursdays with a variety of different types. The shows include Gamer Premonitions, which, as mentioned before, is where we come together and make premonitions on certain upcoming things, whether it's an upcoming big game like we did for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Devil May Cry 5, or it could be something more of a concept like video games in the 2020s.
Gentlemen, the first Game Fuel, sponsored by PlayStation themselves, will come out and will be the best tasting flavor of Game Fuel. However, it will be pulled off the shelves in short order because somehow it causes urinary tract infections.
The human body wasn't built for that much blue.
In other news, you're going to the hospital.
Yes! I'm going to be in the hospital in my PlayStation muscle suit.
It's keeping your heart going.
Blue all over my lips.
I need a new vessel for my urine. From there, we have a more game show centric type of show called Armchair Devs, which has 2 versions, a normal version and a Kiwami version. In both versions, the idea is simple. Someone is the host and the rest of the people on the podcast have to come up with a pitch for a video game, and the best one by the judge's own discretion wins. Only the difference is, the normal version, we have a few days to prepare to make a nightmare. And in the Kiwami version, we are given no time to prepare. Either way, it's kind of a nightmare, but in different ways.
This is going to be the main hero, Ridge Lion. Zeppelin, there we go.
Look, man, I can't help the fact that Feels is the most marketable without being a human's right violation.
They don't have rights by the time they're playing.
The year is 2020, and you need to make me a successful concept for a rhythm game.
This is so general.
Wait, it's not a specific franchise?
No, you can attach it to any IP you want in desperate bid to make it not fail on impact.
Oh, fuck you, Dan. I am going fucking biological weapon.
Of course, you might want long-form discussions on various different things, and we can provide that through a couple of our other shows, like Weeaboos, where we talk about various different anime, either because we watched a few episodes of one, or maybe we watched the entirety of like an anime film. So we have shows like that for you. On top of that, we of course have Spoiler Cast, where all four of us ended up playing through the entirety of a game and want to get in a big discussion for it. And we've done it for a variety of games like Bloodstained, Devil May Cry 5, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and of course Doom Eternal. That one review that gave the game a 4 out of 10 saying why couldn't it have the writing on the level of Joss Whedon?
What? That's real?
Yeah, that's
You
real. Yes,
waited
that's real.
this long into this podcast to tell me about such horrors?
KZ, let me go ahead and get your review and score.
Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker has the energy of a shonen battle manga that's getting canceled, and it has to do everything as quickly as possible.
Yes.
It does. That's right. Like the last 5 chapters of Bleach.
Yes, they got 5 weeks left. We need to get this shit done.
Also, his block is just a parry now. Or not a parry, but a counter state.
Yes.
I didn't figure out until I was fighting Rufus.
They told you that when you at the very beginning of the game during the demo
I don't
level.
read tutorials ever. I have never read a tutorial in my entire life.
That is rude. Stop giving Feel shit. Feel, I didn't read that shit either.
If you thought we were done with the type of variety content that we do, then you are foolish, because we have one other normal show that we put out, and it's called Cursed Content Club, where the idea is simple. We sit down, watch something that may be of questionable quality. We do a live commentary track for it that patrons can check out and listen to it as they watch the film with us. And then we come back before and after to review the thing that we watched, which is an adventure.
Bob, what did you think of Kick-Assia?
I'm brave enough to rate every movie that shows up on this show a -5, so here we go, -5.
No!
You're going to regret this, Bob.
This time, you are going to get a contradictory enigma from me.
People are going to say I sound like this.
Do you suppose would let a child
Bill, what's this movie about?
vanish? Or
I guess it's going to be about this fucking puppet trying to abandon his humanity.
it's just
How the fuck are we supposed to do a podcast for this after?
the first emotions.
Now, with all of that content, you would think that's it. That's all we got. And people support us on Patreon at patreon.com/dbpodcasts to be able to make sure that keeps happening. But no, we go the extra mile for you guys to deliver even more content beyond that. Because we have things like Cursed Content by Committee, which is Cursed Content Club, but it's a Patreon exclusive show. We put up a poll every single month, which you guys get to vote on from a variety of films. The one that gets the most votes is one that we watch and do the exact same show that we do for the normal thing, but it's a monthly version of it that is exclusive to Patreon at the $5 level. At this point, we've done a bunch of them. I try not to remember them all, but they're where some of the worst nightmares actually come in.
Bob gets the choice of A, B, C, or D, with each one corresponding to a set of films.
I don't get to know what they are, do I?
No.
Of course not.
B.
B is the movie.
Oh, no! This is the worst timeline!
That sounds okay.
Bob,
Bob,
the movie. Just a theory here is epic movie.
Oh,
it's
no!
date movie.
another one of our exclusive-ish shows that we do was more of a Patreon reward tier where once we reached a certain amount on Patreon, you unlocked Mondo Cool, a Dragon Ball movie review show that we do, where every single month we watch a new Dragon Ball movie, OVA, what have you, in release order. We talk about them, do some segments about what we watched, and rank them. And what we do is we put them out early on Patreon, and then about a week or so later, something like that, we put it out for the public to check out. And we've done a few of them so far, and it's some of my favorite content. I just really like the format that we've set up for that. We shall be watching the second Dragon Ball Z film. It is called Dragon Ball Z World's Strongest, or as it's titled in Japanese,
Dragon Ball Z, the strongest guy in the world.
It is called Dragon Ball Z, the Tree of Might, or as it's called in Japanese,
Dragon Ball Z, the decisive battle for the entire Earth.
Thank God we're not fighting for only part of it.
But that's not all, potentially. While I've listed, I'm pretty sure, every single show that we do, I might have forgotten one. Not too sure. I'm kind of turning into a corpse thinking about all the things we do. But there is one other show that could potentially happen if you guys are interested in seeing it happen. If you support us over on patreon.com/gbpodcasts, and we can get to the $3,500 level, which at the time of filming this, we're only about $300 away. Oh my God. We will reach the next special show that we'll do, which is a Bleach podcast, where we will watch the entirety of Bleach, and every episode we will come in having watched some more of it and like talk about it, have a discussion. It's like, imagine the concept of Mondo Cool, where we come back after watching one Dragon Ball movie. What if it was like that, but with an entire anime that we go bit by bit until everyone's dead? And that is some of the ideas that we have. Doing these podcasts has been really fun and really enjoyable. And it has been a major fixture in my life for like a year and a half now. And we are at a point where we're doing really well with it, and I feel like we can do even better. And with your support, we can continue to make it better. So if you're interested, head on over to gigaboots.com, head on over to their YouTube, and subscribe. You can also check out the Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcasts to maybe toss a few bucks our way. If you do the $5 level, you'll unlock dozens of exclusive posts from the various Curse Content by Committee episodes that we've done. You get to vote on stuff, you get to see stuff early. There's just a lot of stuff going down there. Anyway, it's been a while since I made a proper promotion for this stuff, so I felt like I should. Thank you guys so much for listening, and hope to see you around for even more.
Mr. Feel, what have you drawn me? I'd love to see it.
1 second, I put a cookie in my mouth while KZ was talking.